So the MAGA Republicans are freaking out now that Democrats have won the Senate and might be in a position to take a 51 to 49 vote margin. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So all eyes are on Georgia once again, as Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker go head-to-head in a runoff election to decide the Senate seat in Georgia. This is the second time that Raphael Warnock has had to go through this process in 2 years. I would imagine he's getting a little tired of running by now. But the reality is we should be feeling pretty good about things. After all, Warnock did win a plurality of the vote in the election, and it's only because he just didn't quite edge over 50% that we have to go to this runoff at all. What's more is Warnock has shown himself to be an excellent campaigner and a prodigious fundraiser, raising funds from the grassroots with an average contribution of just $37. And one wonders, with the Senate lost now to the Republicans, are they going to go to so much trouble to try to elect Walker, considering that Republican super PAC spent $38.5 million to try to support his candidacy? Well, to see what Republicans are thinking, let's once again check out Fox News here.
Well, all eyes now turn to Georgia as the runoff between Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker could determine whether Vice President Harris becomes the Senate tiebreaker. Millions now being poured into the runoff despite a staggering $262 million already spent on the race. Here with more on what's driving Georgia toward being a blue state, Fox News contributor and Georgia native Joey Jones. Joey, great to see you.
I would say Georgia is driving towards being a purple state. I don't think it's the one thing
I just read what was.
I actually agree with that. It's driving towards being a purple state, but that's in the direction of blue states, because you have to remember, Georgia used to be a rock-ribbed Republican state. So this is quite a change. Let's keep watching.
I know. Listen, even in 2020, our legislature got stronger. Brian Kemp's the most popular politician in Georgia right now. The state's still a very red state, but Stacey Abrams...
Well, Brian Kemp won largely for two reasons. Number one, he was the incumbent this time, and that's an advantage. Number two, Donald Trump attacked him, which any time a Republican can show that he's separate from Donald Trump, that helps them in the general election. Let's keep watching.
Abrams' legacy will be the machine she created to get people registered to vote and get their votes harvested, essentially. It's not...
That's BS, to get their votes harvested, essentially. No, to help them vote. Let's be clear about that. This language that they use is so insidious. The fact that we have Stacey Abrams going out there and trying to get people registered to vote and get them to vote is harvesting ballots. Like there's something wrong about that. No, it's just helping people make sure their votes get counted. Let's keep watching.
Technically vote harvesting, but it is the act.
Oh, he admits it's not technically vote harvesting. So there you go. Let's keep watching.
Going back door to door and making sure the people you got registered voted during early voting season, mail-in voting season. And the machine she built, Republicans are still struggling to catch up to.
So you're...
Yeah, I'm a fan of Stacey Abrams. I have to admit, I've been very impressed with the organizing that she's done. She's done everything legally. She's done everything appropriately. She's just made sure that people turn out to vote who traditionally hadn't. Let's keep watching.
Saying it's trending in some ways toward a purple state. Is that partly because the demographics have changed? People have moved in? I mean, talk to me about
the money. The donor demographics have changed. Hollywood moved into Georgia in 2018 or 16. I can't remember now. 2018, 60% of American film and television was filmed in Georgia. So there's kind of a tri-county area there, south of Atlanta, that area around the airport.
Now, this is while a Republican's been the governor, so how is this helping the Democrats? Let's keep watching.
Where Netflix, AMC, all the Marvel movies from Captain America 2 through the Avengers Endgame, all filmed there. An ecosystem comes with them, and unfortunately, a lot of their politics does too, especially when it comes to donating money. So Raphael Warnock's going to get money all day long because Hollywood's just writing checks and sending it in the mail.
Interesting.
Okay, that's BS now. Raphael Warnock's average contribution was $37. He had way more contributors than Herschel Walker, and that's the reason that he outraised him so dramatically. What supported Herschel Walker were the super PACs from Washington, spending all told nearly $60 million to support his candidacy. Interestingly enough, despite my searching repeatedly for the average contribution to Walker, I couldn't find that online. Makes you wonder what they're hiding. Let's keep watching.
So the blue dot in Atlanta has gotten bigger,
exactly right.
effectively.
That's exactly right. And the irony there is that it's not that there's just a tremendous amount more blue voters, but there's a lot more resources from out of state.
Blue money.
No, they're raising money from individuals. One thing Democrats have been very successful at is that they raise from the grassroots. And that's because, guess what? Democrats support average people, not billionaires. So if you want to know who the billionaires are supporting, that's the Republicans. If you want to know who everybody else is supporting, it's the Democrats when it comes to contributions. That's the basis of Warnock's fundraising prowess. Not Hollywood, as they seem to claim. Let's keep watching.
What's your prediction on this runoff come December?
Well, you know, last night's news changes things. I think people don't feel the urgency. I hope that Republicans coalesce and explain what it means to have a 50-50 instead of a 51-49.
I think he's right. I think that the fact that the Democrats have taken the Senate is going to be something that reduces the sense of urgency Republicans have in the seat. And that should actually hurt their turnout, something that will certainly inure to the benefit of Democrats. Let's just make sure that Democrats stay focused on making sure we keep this seat. Because the big issue for us is that it's going to be an important investment for us to have this seat as we go into a tougher cycle for the Senate in 2024. Let's keep watching.
You're talking about the difference between a rubber stamp and some of the drama we saw over the last year. You know, if Joe Manchin doesn't sell his own state out, you know, there's a lot of money that didn't get spent over.
Ah, yes, Joe Manchin doesn't sell his own state out. No, I think it's that he doesn't sell out the oil interests that he benefits from and the coal interests that he benefits from. But this is really what the MAGA crowd are concerned about, which is that if the Democrats have 51 votes in the Senate, then we could actually be in a position to pass some things without having to rely on our Senate problem children, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. But the point is, since it looks like the Republicans have the House anyway, the Democrats aren't really going to be in a position to pass much legislation anyway. So the big issue at this point is making sure that the Democrats have a little bit of a buffer as we go into a much tougher cycle for the Senate in 2 years. Let's keep watching.
One vote. And
it's a good point.
There's still some moderate senators to talk to.
This will determine whether it's Manchin who sets the prerogatives of Democrats vis-a-vis Schumer in some way.
Or maybe a Mark Kelly that sees the writing on the wall. There were a lot of Senate races that were close.
Yeah.
I was on this network hosting Fox and Friends 4 months ago, interviewing Newt Gingrich, another Georgian that's got his finger to the pulse. And I made the comment, it's like
there were a lot of Senate races that were close, but really the amazing thing is how many Senate races really weren't that close. I mean, Pennsylvania really wasn't that close. That was a big one. And in the governor's race here in Michigan, it really wasn't that close. Those were kind of big surprises, actually. Let's keep watching.
Really looks like we got the House, but the Senate's probably not there. And that was kind of the beginning of Republicans saying, no, we're going to get the Senate. So this has been a 4-month window of an entire election season or 2 years where we believed the Senate was ours to get. That didn't come to fruition, and we need to figure out what we did wrong. Yeah. But in the state of Georgia, you're talking about a very red legislature. You're talking about probably one of the most popular governors in the country. Ron DeSantis gets the credit for opening up Florida. Georgia never closed. So Governor Kemp's done a lot of good things. I hope, and what I want to see, which the writing on the wall doesn't show it, I would love to see Governor Kemp, Donald Trump on the same stage, telling people to go vote for Herschel Walker. And if the Republicans can capture any unity in the party, which they need, maybe Georgia's the place to do it.
If anybody can make that.
Boy, I would love to see Donald Trump on the stage telling people to get out and vote for Herschel Walker. That's going to be the best thing to motivate Democrats to get out there and vote. Well, looking ahead to the 2024 Senate races, I did a video about a year ago talking about the fact that Kyrsten Sinema needs to be primaried. If you want to check it out over here. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.